Friends, colleagues and listeners, here we are, another senior colleague from Avery Aviation Software, and I'm talking about Phaedra, then Hertog.
Nice to
Is
meet
that
you,
good
Chris.
again? I must say, you guys have got some real tongue twisters of names, especially for me. So
That's the internationality
yep.
inside the company, right?
Yep, it is indeed. It's wonderful. Phaedra, Customer Success Officer.
Correct.
All right. Big challenge, eh? We're going to have some fun with this one, I think. All right, that title, and I come back to it again, it's a big challenge. So if I was to ask you, customer success, what does that actually mean to you? And I know that you've got a process with onboarding, and I love the title, Flight and Gap sessions. I think that's
Yes.
a lovely
Fitting,
descriptive.
yeah.
It's very good.
Yeah.
So, you know, the approach that you take to the customer success, the actual, you know, process itself, and then you've already mentioned customers as a partner. How do you take that from A to Z? What are the important points that you want to bring in there?
Yeah.
And I'd really like you to tell me about the Flight and Gap sessions.
Yeah. Well, actually, Chris.
Sorry, I'm saying Flight and Gap. It's Fit and Gap.
Fit and Gap, yes.
So I do apologise with
okay.
the tongue there. So Fit and Gap.
Fit and Gap. Yeah.
So anybody who was listening and decided to turn off, jump back on, because it means Fit and Gap, not Flight and Gap.
Yes. First of all, as a customer success and together with the team, we are already during the sales pitch already involved, just to listen in, to get already understanding of the needs of the customer, get the customer a bit of the potential customer, a little bit to know them better. And after the sales is done and we have come to an agreement, they are handed over to the customer success team, and I'm preparing a project plan. And based on the project plan and the Fit and Gap sessions, where we go into depth, even more into depth than we've done already during the sales, to understand what the exact expectations are and also the needs, fits, but definitely also the gaps, to identify at an earlier stage the possible gaps. And based on that, we make a final project plan, we come to an agreement, have the terms and the weeks, like a timeline in a plan, and based on that we start the data setup and the whole onboarding process. And definitely Fit and Gaps, it requires also engagement of the customer, because they have to think through as well what is needed on their side, and what Tristan already said about the change management. And if you work already in a certain system or a certain way for I don't know how many years,
You're used to it.
You're used to it, and we can offer better solutions or a different way of working, which needs adapt from the team. And with the project manager, preferably on the side of the customer, we can go into, okay, this is how your team has to, it's better to work in a certain way, right? To adapt it and to change it. And then during the process, we have regular calls, status updates, and we do the training based on their process flow, but also based on our way of working with the system and our advice how they can work with the system. And to me, that's customer success. That is really, we have to teach them also how to work with it and show them all our capabilities, because we have so many options in the system to do. And advise them on how they can be better in efficiency and
with so many opportunities to impress and show the impact. Just my opinion, when I've been involved, is when you're able to show people who are the real end users what the benefits and the impact is, either on their activity or their workload or their benefit, then all of a sudden, boom, you've got them on your side, and they're a winner. And then they start coming up with ideas on how it can impact the next position in the process or the next department.
True. And we actually also learn a lot from our customers and our end users. They are using it day to day, and they may have some good ideas which we like to adapt. And that's what I mean also with our customers being our partners. So together with them we grow also along, right?
Which is good.
Which is absolutely good, and it's helping the whole industry in the end. Some developments are really based for a particular customer, of course, but some are definitely, we see the benefits as a company and will be available for every customer. So that is how we evolve and grow also as a product.
Can I ask you, is that also one of the parameters that you use yourself within your own department? that how much information you get back or feedback or questions or challenges or concerns, that actually helps enhance the relationship.
Absolutely, yeah, absolutely.
So you'd be worried if I was a customer and I never asked you anything?
Absolutely, yeah. And then actually I would go to you as the customer success team and ask if everything is all right. Because I'm certain that you may have questions or you have concerns even, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So, and that is the account management. That's after the go live, actually, to follow up and have regular meetings with customers. And some customers require bi-weekly meetings. Just to for example, the larger companies with a lot of offices all over Europe, for example. And yeah, it's great also for us to learn from those meetings and to get the questions.
100%. And I'm pretty sure the data that you get from all those customers, it's almost like a pecking order or a pick and mix. That when other customers have got a problem that's similar and it's been related, you've already got a pre-prescribed solution or offer that goes to them very, very quickly, and you can also show what the impact was when it was put into place.
Absolutely. And we collect also then, for example, requests from other customers just to check, to cross-check, is this, because if we develop, we want to do it right from the beginning.
Exactly.
So the more information, the more input you get, it helps for the end result to be the best we can offer.
With all the onboarding process, and especially I'm getting it right now, so I apologise for the early mistake, but the fit and gap sessions, if we were to take all of that and run it across one of your products, if we look at the product Onboard Courier, what would I expect? Because obviously I'm quite familiar with that.
Yeah, well, Onboard Courier is our product that we launched last year. And we have few customers that are using the product. So from A to Z, they can do everything with our system. Booking a mission or a piece for that needs to go from A to B. Then find a courier inside the system. So based on a location, they have a courier app where they can switch on the location. Then when the mission is booked, for example, or one, they're gonna book the courier inside the system. So everything is fully automated inside our ERP. And the courier will get a notification on his courier app that he's selected for this mission. And then based on that, we have milestones. And milestones means that it's full traceable and trackable where the courier is with the parcel. And that is something for the shipper or even the consignee and the person in between, a must to know where the valuable goods are, right?
So it's a little bit like OBC Uber.
Maybe, yes. Yeah,
so you got it. But from what you're saying with the milestones, the difference is, and I was talking to somebody about this, is giving specific directions to Uber. So in some cases, people don't want to go on a motorway. Some people don't like going over a speed limit. Some people, they've got all different things. So with this, you've got all of that data ready to go. So when the courier agrees to take that particular mission, they know exactly what they've got to do at what time and when.
And what the milestones, the measure points are in the roadmap. And that's defined by the customer. And that's the choice of the customer who's using our ERP system. And together with as a customer success team, we discuss those milestones. Okay, have you thought about that? Is that necessary? You want a proof of delivery, for example?
So like if there was a customs declaration issue or something?
So then the courier can, he has to complete that milestone that he done it, or if it's not needed, he can skip it, for example. So for the customer success during the onboarding of such a product, we guide the customer, make them aware of what the capabilities are inside the system and what we can do on the tracking locations or the milestones, or how the templates, for example, what your client will receive as a information template, the quoting.
Okay, very good. And do they get real-time support?
In terms of real-time
support?
So
the courier's got certain milestones. So they boarded the flight, they've landed, they're going through immigration. They're, if there's a customs issue, then fair enough. If not, then they're at the meeting point. So for example, if the person who was meeting them got stuck in traffic, and they've got a return flight, obviously. There's contingency plans or contacts. I'm assuming that there's online support
there's
for
room
that.
in the milestone, but that is more in the relation with the customer, the ERP user, and the courier, right? So we supply that option to rebook then, for example, a flight.
Okay.
Or make the changes inside the system. And we are looking also to integrate Flight Sea Teleport is a company, and they have ticketing prices and flight options, etc.
Okay,
and
so
why
can be done very quickly.
Yeah, right. So that's not in the system. We are a software supplier, right? We don't have ticketing, etc. So with third parties, and that's also always what Vitali likes, is to integrate and to make it 100% also tailor-made for this market, right? For this niche market, that everything can be done through this system.
Yeah, and the more products you got on the shelf and the more partners you've got, the more substantial the offer looks. Exactly.
Yeah.
It's a lonely place just to be there on your own.
Yeah.
But I think that's important, because if you've got a link to flights, then you've got your built-in continuity and contingency. So it's
and there's a chat function in the courier app, so not with WhatsApp, but inside the courier app and with the system. So that's fully integrated. So in that way they have live support from the customer team, right?
Exactly. Phaedra, knowing you as I do, and I've met you several times, you're a very person's person. You love to impress on people how the positives can always be achievable, and you're very good at it. From your personal perspective, what is it that drives you, that you want your customers to see and to understand what customer success means to you as an individual who's responsible for that level?
Yeah, I think personally, if you are heard as a person, if you are seen as a person, and whether it's a customer or just a person, that is making you feel good, right? I mean, that's making you seen as a, and that's what I feel is very important, whether it's a customer or any person. So give somebody the feeling that you understand what the needs are, that you want to listen. And I'm Dutch. No is an answer as well. Right? I mean, let's be frank. But if you can tell why something is not possible, or why it cannot be done, or you have an alternative or another solution, another way to do something, that's fine. And do what you say and say what you do. I mean, that is to me very important, and I get annoyed if it's not done. So I feel a lot of responsibility, high responsibility towards customers, but also towards in personal life. I mean, I'm also a trainer, and I love my group of sports people in my team, and to give them the best time. Right?
That's because you care, and it does
because
come,
I care, absolutely.
It comes across,
and
seriously.
It's even my nature, I would say. I mean, it's not something that I make up.
No.
It's by nature.
And as a trainer and as somebody that enjoys team sports or team games, etc., it is sometimes important to say no. But if you're able to explain to them why, what helps you, then they have understanding, and they tend to, accept it a lot easier. But you do come. I've got to say, in fair play, you come across as somebody who cares an awful lot.
I do.
And that's really
Thank you so much
important.
for the compliment.
Now, as far as I just want to ask you another question about the fit and gap. Okay, so if you start to see a few things not happening because you care, okay, do you have a ready-made, or is it tailor-made to each customer? How you bridge that point, because some customers, they get a little bit funny if you say, look, your guys aren't really using the tool to the way they should. Is that custom made, or is it just something that you do yourself, or your team are aware of individuals in those organizations?
We tend to have a from the shelf product, but in the end every product is tailor made. So it really depends on the needs of the customer. And you have to get in contact. You have to talk to have the conversation going on, and and check why.
Yeah.
Maybe there's an obstacle.
Yeah.
Maybe they don't know. Maybe it needs another little tweak somewhere else.
Yeah. Yeah.
Or it just did not really fit them fully, and
Yeah.
then we can identify the gap and see and make it work for them.
Yeah.
Recently, we are onboarding and almost finishing the onboarding of a customer, and he is really using the system to the fullest. And we are so happy, actually, because it's a lot of work. I'll be honest about that.
Yeah.
But he absolutely know what he wants.
Yeah.
And that is really also helpful, right? If you have a customer that really knows what he needs and what
Yeah.
he wants, and we have the options to do it for him.
Yeah. And it's
we
good
need-
experience for your team as well.
Absolutely.
Everyone's
And-
learning.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely. So,
Yeah.
so that's what I meant with partnership
Yeah, yeah.
and listening to each other and working with each other to see, okay. And he said, "I'm so happy with your system."
Yeah.
Of course, it gives a little bit of headaches now and then,
Yeah, yeah. But
But-
good headaches.
but good headaches in the end. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And that's also the change management. So if somebody's open and willing to change
Yeah.
and to adapt a new system, a new way of working.
Yeah.
Yeah, then the result in the end is going to be great.
Yeah. No, it's always better. I always say to people, if somebody's invested in a program, the chance of them taking that program away and not doing it is very slim. So at the earliest point,
Yeah.
get on board,
Yeah.
enjoy it,
Yeah.
find some value out of it, and support
True,
it.
and that's why Fit and Gap are just
Great tool.
absolutely important to do.
Yeah, lovely term as well. I like it.
Yeah,
Thank you so much for your
You're
time.
welcome.
Really
Thank
appreciate
you.
it. And it's so nice in this day and age to see people who are genuinely people that care.
thank you so
So
much for the
really
compliment,
appreciate it.
Chris.
Thank you so much.